Hello, welcome back to GameSpot's coverage of Game of the Year 2015. We've already talked about those stinking consoles, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Wii U. I keep reading these articles about PC culture taking over America. The personal computer, guys.
Oh, is that?
We all love it, right?
It's here to stay.
It's here to stay.
I'm a warrior for PC.
Yeah, I'm a warrior for my PC too. I built a PC 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like I built a PC 9 months too late. All the great games that came out this year on consoles, Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, Metal Gear Solid, The Phantom Pain, even games like Rocket League. Better on PC? Is that fair to say?
It's not only better, but not now all these arguments that you have about exclusives and which console is better. You have access to literally almost every game. There are very few non-PC exclusives. When people talk about exclusives, they mean console exclusives. Yeah. Everybody gets. I
didn't
get
to play the Order 1886.
You're still butthurt about
Yeah.
it. In fact, you're going to get Tomb Raider before anyone on the PlayStation 4 does as well.
Real
It's
quick.
going to come out in a couple of months.
But to be fair, in order to play those games on a PC and have them look better, you got to shell out maybe 4 or 5 times the amount of money you would spend. I know people are going to jump in this now.
True,
And go,
true.
Actually, for $500. But really, in order to compete on a technological and performance level for a PC, you have to spend more money. But that said, oh man, do games look good on a high-end PC?
Yeah,
they can look better for a medium cost, for a moderate cost. You can get something that is comparable to what you're getting on console now.
Yeah.
And you have to have a PC. Like it's something that you are going to have in your house.
And it's been heartbreaking looking when I was playing The Witcher 3 on Xbox One, and I loved it, and it was a great experience on my Xbox One. But I couldn't even look at footage of it on the PC because I was like, man, that's literally twice as many frames. And it looks super, super pretty.
And the mods and all the the things that are going to extend the life of those games, that's going to be on PC. Maybe you might get something like that on PS4 or on Xbox One or on the console, but PC, that's built in. That's part of the culture of it.
Yeah. Let's talk about some stuff then that you wouldn't necessarily get on consoles, that you would only get on PC. Game that came out a couple of weeks ago, started off, StarCraft. Blizzard, they make PC games. StarCraft, Legacy of the Void, all finished up now, wrapped up nice and sweet. Heart of the Storm as well, of course, this year. A lot of people have been playing that as well. Good experiences to play on PC, Justin?
It is, and we're going to be getting more StarCraft. I mean, it felt like this was the end. This is the end of that specific trilogy, and now we have Nova Covert Ops, which is going to be an extension of StarCraft. Not quite where we thought StarCraft was going when they announced this at BlizzCon, but I mean, this is just one of those examples of an experience that you're basically only going to get on PC. Blizzard always serves their PC audience so well, and they do port things over to console. Overwatch is something that's going to be on literally everything.
Yes. And a game that's been fantastic fun to play on PC. I almost wish it came out officially so I could stick it in my top 10 games of the year. We've played dozens of hours of that game. It's fantastic.
But strategy games are just a great example of something that it doesn't work as well on console, both because it's so much reading, because it requires such a fine-tuned type of controlling. Strategy games are always going to be at home on PC, and that's both the best way to play them and the most enjoyable. When you try to do them on console, it never works as well.
When I was trying to collate a list of games that came out on this, I kept running into this same frequent problem over and over again, which is that there are so many games coming out on PC now which aren't really coming out. They're in alpha, or they've been coming out forever. Unreal Tournament's a game I've played a bunch of this year, and that's still in alpha. Dirt Rally is a game that you were playing for loads of.
It's basically out, right? Because you can purchase it on early access, and I think now it's just out. But for the longest time, I'm like, oh, I am playing this game almost daily.
Yeah.
That's in development, and I'm helping give feedback on it, and it's amazing. And to you guys' point, it's that's the one thing that the PC has that the console doesn't. There's no one man. There's no Phil Spencer. There's no
There's no
Sony
gatekeeper.
guy. There's no gatekeeper.
There's Gabe Newell.
There's Gabe Newell.
But you
He's the mascot.
don't have to go through him, though, right?
Yeah,
you can publish something independently.
Yeah.
From
Oh, no,
Steam.
you do.
And you can kickstart something, right? And it's going to be available when you want it to be. It's great that we can talk about it as its platform, but it's not. It's so open, and that's what gives you the power, because it's also, I want to get a monitor that runs at 140 frames per second. You can't do that on console. Why would you get a monitor that runs that fast? On a PC, I'm going to be playing games at that speed. I'm going to be playing Dirt Rally at 100 frames per second, whereas Forza's locked at 60. And it's they had to do all their magic just to get it to 60.
The power's in your hands.
Yeah, the power's in my hands. Oh, well, I guess I'll get a better graphics card that just came out because I can do that, and now I'm running. So it's I don't know. There's just so much more flexibility.
But to play devil's advocate, when you do have that much freedom, you're also given the freedom to have really shitty experiences that are shitty and broken for a really long time. Like you don't have a gatekeeper making sure the quality meets a certain threshold.
I think there have been some problems on PC games as
Yeah,
well.
but you can
Batman
look it up.
Arkham Knight was a disaster
Oh, yeah.
on PC.
How about
Remains a
that?
disaster.
That was
Yeah.
what was?
Remains a
It's
disaster.
still.
Yeah, still a
Still
disaster.
basically just refund.
But like PC on the other side as well, it's scalable. You've got those big AAA experiences. Also, some really great indie games came out this year as well. Her Story early in the year, Undertale more recently as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many games that wouldn't exist on console because you have to have that game, because somebody has to be making money. But when you're just making a game, like, well, I'm going to put this out there on Steam, see if I make money. I've just been working on it for a couple of years in my basement. Like, but not to belittle the work that they do, but there's a lower threshold to having a success.
But there is a barrier, sorry to interrupt you, but the refund system in Steam now negates that problem.
The other thing as well, like outside of the sort of like general, release schedule, these are the games coming out. When you look about where exciting things are happening in PC gaming, you look at esports, it's continuing growth. You look at like streaming, it's continuing growth. Like almost all of the stuff that's on Twitch is PC games. CS:GO, League of Legends, Dota, almost all of the big esports tournaments, apart from perhaps the fighting game community, is all PC. Like that's where it's happening. I feel like now more than ever, in this weird way, when kids are on YouTube and watching Twitch and they're going to buy something, they don't want to buy a console. They want to see whatever else is doing on PC.
Well, it's surprising. I have a nephew who loves to watch Minecraft stuff. What system does he want, or what platform does he want? He wants a Wii U.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I think actually, to contrary to your point a little bit, I think kids are actually growing more comfortable experiencing games passively than they are actually interacting with them. And I think that is going to keep consoles within their grasp because their parents can buy it for them.
Well, but the other nice thing about PC is, like, as much as kind of I feel like we're at the top end, we're the ones who are going to get a really high-powered graphics card, and we want games to look as amazing as they can. But PC is accessible to everybody. Even if you have a lower-end graphics card, something that maybe costs $50 or $100, you can still run so many games and have access to these games.
Well, companies have been trying to break that chestnut for a couple of years now when it comes to like making, here's the console equivalent of a PC. And of course, Steam machines, we thought perhaps this was the year where that could break through. Peter, it doesn't really look necessarily that's been the case.
Well, the PC market doesn't necessarily want those things, and someone coming from a console background looks at, okay, there are 5 Steam machines in front of me. Oh, wait, there are 4 configurations of each one of those? Which one do I pick? I don't know. I mean, it's sort of navigating murky waters at that point. You don't know what you're getting and what is actually a good value, and then what games you can run. Perhaps more than Steam machines, I think cloud streaming is going to be the thing that will allow people with cheaper PCs to really get into PC gaming. NVIDIA really has been doing some great stuff with that. I played some stuff using the NVIDIA Shield that was running on a server like states away. I was playing Street Fighter 4 and it wasn't perfect. I'll tell you what, a couple seconds later, or a couple minutes after playing, I started to get used to the delay. And if you think about a game that's not a fighting game, right? Like, so many other games work well in that context and that are really high-end experiences. So the PCs, like Steam Machine represents an effort to minimize the cost associated with PC gaming and make it more approachable. I think cloud gaming is really going to be the thing that does that, but that hasn't kicked off yet.
And in 2016, we're all sort of waiting for the, more. We've already seen the Samsung Gear VR hit store shelves. Next year, we're looking forward to a lot more. Obviously, Sony's PlayStation VR will be coming out as well. Oculus, the leaders in this space, coming out. When we're already seeing that the consoles are struggling when it comes to graphical capability, surely if we're looking at the future of VR, we're looking at that exciting new frontier, the PC is where it's going to be happening.
And we're going to see that gulf continue to widen. Like, this is just like Xbox 360 and PS3, those were basically 7-year consoles. This is supposed to be a decade-long console. PC is just going to keep getting stronger and stronger and able to handle things like Oculus, able to handle extra things that we're throwing at it, and consoles aren't going to be able to keep up with that.
I think the type of VR that we're talking about is important here, though, because so many people imagine VR as, they take it literally, right?
Well, I imagine a full body suit that I plug into, and like.
I'm talking about the content, right? Like people really imagine VR as like this, oh my God, like everything around me looks so real. But I can tell you firsthand, some of the lo-fi VR stuff is still immersive because your movements are still connected to it. So I think in that regard, yes, the PC will explore like the really impressive stuff, but it's not going to totally own VR. I'm not convinced of that yet. And even then, when Oculus comes out in the spring, who's going to shell out the cash for that? It's going to be the hardcore. But the hardcore the few does not dictate what games are created, right? It's the mainstream. If the mainstream doesn't pick up on it, we're not going to see those experiences everyone's hoping for. It's going to be the smaller stuff that drives it forward.
Great year for the PC, great year for video games in 2015, and some of the best video games that came out in 2015 looked pretty fantastic on the PC. So you got to say it's been a great year for the personal computer. And also in terms of exclusives, they got one coming early next year, XCOM 2.
They always have exclusive. I mean, look at like this year's Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah.
Like games that you just
which
can't
is in
have.
early access forever.
Yeah.
And 2016 is going to have those same kind of titles, things that you just wouldn't be able to play on a console, or you just wouldn't expect, like because someone's going to come out with it, like, oh, I've been working on this for a couple years.
Yeah.
Here it is now. Check out my awesome game.
Loads more to look forward to. Justin, Peter, and Annie, thank you so much for coming on and talking about PC culture with me. And thanks to you for watching our Game of the Year coverage so far. To watch all of our other platform reports, make sure you go back onto our Game of the Year hub on GameSpot.com. And stay tuned to GameSpot to find out what our Game of the Year is and some of our favorite games across the breadth of video game consoles and the PC itself.